a warm welcome to The Point. Congress recently announced the bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh, but the sentiments are quite high on both sides of the divide. What will happen after bifurcation? What could be the social, political and the economic fallout? Well, let's talk to the man on the hot seat, Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Kiran Kumar Reddy. Welcome, sir, on Rajya Sabha Television. Sir, now that the government has rejected the contention that the Telangana process would be put on hold, are you still hoping against the hope to save Andhra?
No, the state of Andhra Pradesh, the decision taken by the CWC, there is a constitutional process which has to be followed. And without addressing the concerns of the people of both the regions, both Seemandhra and Telangana, it is difficult to go through the division process. We have got a lot of problems which come with the division, and these concerns should be addressed before going forward.
What you mean to say is that was it a hasty decision? They could have taken some more time?
It's not the question of hasty decision. Although the decision was a section of the area, that is the Telangana people were asking for a separate state from a very long time. The contentious issues which come with the division are the major problem. That is the issue of capital Hyderabad, where people have come here from different places from 1956. From the time they felt that this is their capital and this is where their future lies. That a lot of people have shifted from Madras, which was our capital then, came to Kurnool, and from Kurnool they have come here. It is the doctors, it is the professional advocates, it is for other businesses,
but
for
it's
prosperity.
People from all the sections of the society. In fact, I will come to that later, Mr. Reddy. But what are you hoping from the Antony committee, which is just about to come? It's all over the newspapers that they're going to come and hear the concerns of the Seemandhra region. So do you feel that they could have done this earlier? In fact, maybe with a high-powered committee involving the irrigation experts, involving academicians and so on?
No, you have got problems already. A Sri Krishna committee report is there. The problems of the farmers and irrigation problems are very severe. And we already have a running problems with the different states. That's Karnataka, Maharashtra, one side Orissa and other states. We cannot have another irrigation problem for the farmers by dividing the state of Andhra Pradesh.
But sir, some irrigation experts also say that according to the riparian rules, if you set up a control board, a central control board, that
all
probably would
control
monitor.
boards in this country have failed miserably. All control boards have failed miserably. It could be the Kaveri Accord, or it could be the Punjab Haryana Accord, or all irrigation and accords have not done well in this country, and it is not proper to come forward unless you come forward with a solution and satisfy the farmers of how their interest will be protected. So it is very difficult, and the problem is not one-sided. We are going to have problem as far as education of the youngsters is concerned, because it is Hyderabad centric. We are going to have all the medical facilities are Hyderabad centric. So employees problem, because of the way we have got an presidential order of, we have got a peculiar recruitment process, and that process is for taking all the backward districts and backward areas into consideration, 371D, and a lot of problems will come if it is divided. So all these concerns should first be addressed before thinking of a solution. Not after the solution you cannot address these things. First you should show the solutions for these and then think of how to go ahead.
But sir, regarding the water sharing, we've been also speaking to the irrigation experts. If you have to correct me if I'm wrong. I think Bachawat Tribunal, they have already allocated the amount of water which has to go to each district. So do you think that there will be a lot of politicking as far as the release of water is concerned to the districts?
Not only the release of water, we have got, because we are the last riparian state, the excess water, we have got a lot of flood water which we have converted into irrigation projects. Although our allocation is less, and due to different reasons, specifically due to Almaty and other problems on Krishna, we are having a problem in Krishna basin. Our utilization to our what we get, and both assured water and flood water, if it's a good year like this year, there is no problem. If it's a bad year, we are going to have a severe problem between the farmers of different districts. So allocation of water is a different thing, and distribution of water is a total different thing. And these projects are both have got electricity generation and irrigation together. So if you use it more for irrigation, if you are two different states, and there is no place in this country where the river is going to be divided into, split into half in two different states. The project is going to be split into half into two different states. These are the severe problems which we will have to address before we go.
So, sir, there are several ongoing irrigation projects. What happens to them if bifurcation becomes a reality?
No, see, completing the projects is one of the biggest challenges. Okay. See, the first SRC or the Fasal Ali Commission said the state should be united because of maximum utilization of the Krishna and Godavari rivers can be done only if these two rivers come under one territory. That was the recommendation, one of the recommendations. There are of course other recommendations that it should be divided. But if this these two terrains did not come under one state, the projects, not a single project would have come up in this state.
Okay. But sir, talking about power, Telangana leaders are going around and saying that if power is a problem, we will purchase power. Do you think that is going to be possible really, looking at the ground realities?
It's a very major subject. It's not the question of power now. Their consumption is to their production is only 50% is what they are producing now to what they are consuming now. But that is not the end of the problem. The real problem starts when all the lift irrigation schemes they are going to come in the next 4-5 years, they are going to come up. And Telangana, because of the water goes much below the ground level, only lift irrigation is possible. And we require 175 million units of power every day for 4 to 5 months to lift this water.
So we'll have to wait and watch how much power they are going to purchase if Telangana
They already are 50% short.
Okay.
You see, and we do not have corridors to purchase power. It is a very major issue and it is concern of the people. So all these issues should be addressed before we go ahead. Hyderabad, the issue of Hyderabad, the issue of river water sharing, the education, the employment, and we have got a peculiar policy of recruitment. So there are going to be lakhs of people who are going to be displaced in both areas, from both areas, because if state is divided. So all these problems have to be addressed before we go ahead.
So these are quite a large number of problems like what you are telling me, but there is a perception outside that the entire fight is not about United Andhra, it's about the golden goose of Hyderabad because all the investments are here, all the leaders have invested here. So how would you substantiate that really?
It's not so. It's a public cause. Leaders, individuals don't matter. See, the sentiment attached to Hyderabad. For example, I was born in Hyderabad, I have studied in Hyderabad, I have grown up in Hyderabad. After 53 years, you say you don't belong here. This is the feeling of lakhs of people, and 80% of the people who stay here were born after the division of the state. So you just cannot say that Hyderabad is ours. Hyderabad belongs to whole of Andhra Pradesh from a very long time. And from the last 400 years, there are instances and their history would say that it was under one ruler, or it was under one kingdom, or it was under one area.
So you're talking about a sentiment, of course, which is on both sides of the divide, the pro-Telangana and the anti-Telangana. But the Samaikya Andhra sentiment which is there, people generally call it, it's a hogwash, it's artificial, majorly propelled and fueled by the political leaders. How far is that true really?
You can't expect lakhs of people to come onto the roads every day for the last 50 days or so. Lakhs of people, 3 to 4 lakh people are participating every day in the agitation. There are about 6.5 lakh government employees who are on strike in this area, who are not taking their salary also. So they depend on their salary, their whole family is dependent on their salary. So they are not taking their salary from the last 40 days or so.
And you say it's because of that sentiment which is coming from
It is
within.
not the question of sentiment. It is, one is the sentiment, one is the future loss they see, that if it is divided, if the state is divided, the problems they are going to face. So the fear should be removed if you want to go ahead. You cannot have lakhs of people on the road and lakhs of employees on strike, and about 12,000 buses are not flying belonging to the RTC, because all the employees are on strike.
So, but buses not running, lakhs of people coming on the streets, employees not getting their salaries, schools not running because classrooms are shut down, teachers and students are protesting together. That's the scenario which you are telling me. But then at the same time, questions are being raised as to how the Chief Minister is not intervening to stop all this.
No, I am the Chief Minister of Samaikya Andhra. So I have to address the concerns of all people. As far as the education is concerned,
you would agree with what Digvijay Singh has said, that probably you have already started behaving as the Chief Minister of Seemandhra region?
it's not Seemandhra. I don't think Mr. Digvijay Singh has spoken that way. I do not want to comment on what I read in the paper. But I am the Chief Minister of Samaikya Andhra. Samaikya Andhra means it is the 3 regions. Yes, I am concerned about the employee strike. I am concerned about the schools not running. I am concerned about the farmers. But we have been, there is a continuous dialogue between the government employees and our ministers. We have formed a subcommittee, cabinet subcommittee. We are talking to them, trying to persuade them to come back, because your feelings have been aired and we are aware of it. We are also talking to the central leadership and the central government and our party. So we are asking them to come back to work.
But what about the losses which have been incurred in this course of time with governance almost coming to a standstill?
We will have to take it as it is, because this is there was a big strike in the Telangana area also. This happened then also. Now it is the other area. So we will have to take the losses as it is, because it is a people's movement. Both of them have been people's movements.
But sir, as a Chief Minister, don't you think that you have to do this tightrope walking of balancing the sentiments of both the regions? It's a very crucial question.
Yes.
How are you really doing that? Are you actually talking to the Telangana leaders at this point in time?
Yeah, everyone come to me.
Okay.
As far as Telangana leaders are concerned, they are a part of my government, they are part of our legislators, and we are working together. Yes, they understand the problem because they have faced this problem earlier on. See, once the sentiments of both areas have to be put in mind before some decision is taken. We cannot have an unilateral one-sided decision when there is contentious issues which are bothering the people of the state.
The issue of common capital being Hyderabad is a very serious issue. All your investments are concentrated apparently in the Hyderabad metropolitan development area.
I think a lot of debate is required about Hyderabad and how it has to be, and we'll have to see our constitutional provisions. There is nothing called as joint capital. If it has to be a joint capital, there is different aspects of having a joint capital. There are difficulties of having a joint capital. It should become an UT. What type of UT? All these are under consideration and discussion. So it's not proper for us to discuss about this before the center comes to some concrete proposal.
But sir, with the center having categorically said that the Telangana process is in the pipeline, which means it's irreversible and it's going to happen at some point of time. So how are you really thinking of, you must be having a plan B in your mind as to how the industries will be migrated. For example, in the Hyderabad Metropolitan Development Area, you have about 40% revenues coming from there because of the concentration of the software, services sector and the manufacturing sector. Is there any plan how to migrate the industries now to the other regions?
It's too premature. We are not thinking of all that. First, we'll have to address what is the present issue in our hand, whether an amicable solution can be worked out. Only then we can think of revenues.
So which means that you have some hope from the Antony committee which is going to come here to assuage the concerns of the Simandra region?
See, a decision has been taken by the party. There is a constitutional process which has to follow. In this constitutional process, there are a lot of agitations have come in. So they will have to consider all this process before going ahead. And there is a lot of serious resistance from the people of Simandra also and from the politicians also. So I think the High Command will take all these into consideration before going ahead.
So you still have a lot of faith in what the High Command will do and what the party will do. But let's take a short break at this point in time and return with lots more on the other side.
State is more important than any political calculations. No match is over till the last ball is bowled.
Welcome back. You're watching To The Point with Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Mr. Kiran Kumar Reddy. Mr. Reddy, there are many concerns about the political fallout as to what's really going to happen to the leaders from Andhra and the coastal Andhra and the Simandra regions. Given the fact that elections are around the corner, what are you really foreseeing for the leaders here?
I don't think any leader from the Congress party is thinking of his future or thinking of the next election. They are thinking about having how to have the state united. That is what the Simandra leaders are looking at. Elections and all will be taken, will be thought of when they come. But the present thinking is the big agitation going on, and how do we address them, how do we smoothen them, how do we try to convince them about going ahead.
But sir, given the fact that you said that the concerns have not been addressed properly, and then also a decision has been taken by the party. Don't you think now you are actually on a war path with the party?
It's not the question of war path. I have to answer the concerns of the people here. When lakhs of people have got certain concerns, and it is all the more my responsibility as Chief Minister of the state to satisfy them, to talk to them, to convince them, and what is good for the state, what is good for the people of Andhra Pradesh, both regions, I'll have to talk to them and go ahead. We cannot have solutions or we cannot have thinking that we are coming to a solution, creating bigger problems than the existing problem.
But a lot of MPs and MLAs are saying that they will put in their resignations the moment the cabinet note is moved and some kind of a movement is done on Telangana. So do you think that that's really going to solve the problem politically?
We don't know, let's see. I think it's not proper for me to comment about resignations and other things. But they are very concerned about the state and the state being united. It is the pressure of the people of the region that the state should be united.
So because of your concerns, obviously you're saying that it's improper on your part to talk about it, but it's really unbelievable, and that the leaders are not thinking about the political calculation they are doing for the coming elections. You're saying they're not doing it at all?
State is more important than any political calculations.
Okay.
And the concerns of the people are more important. Party functions as for the will of the people. So we have to answer the people.
But so the other parties have already begun themselves to begin in that momentum, where they are going to be active, also thinking if Telangana is going to be formed, what will be the option for them?
No, see, each party has got its own views or thinking. But here the issue is much bigger than the party. The concerns of the people of the state is much bigger than the party or the party's view. We will have to answer the concerns of the people first. That is how a party
Right.
comes to power or is not in power. We have come to power because of the support of the people. So if we do not answer the people, it is our duty to answer the people. It is our duty to see that their concerns are met and their concerns are addressed.
So a very important thing which one can't overlook is the fact that Andhra Pradesh has 42 Lok Sabha seats, and now with complete political washout in the Andhra region, do you really feel that the buying power or the bargaining power, I would rather call it, the AP leaders would actually come down? What is your political assessment?
Both the times the UPA government in center has come because of the major support they got from Andhra Pradesh, and Andhra Pradesh always has been with the Congress party. Even during Mrs. Gandhi's time, during emergency, this is the only state which has given 41 seats out of 42.
Right.
And when Madam Indira Gandhi came back to power, we got 41 seats in Andhra Pradesh, and she was an MP when she died as Prime Minister from Andhra Pradesh. So there is a lot of concern and lot of liking towards the Gandhi family in Andhra Pradesh. So it's all the more responsibility that the Congress party has to be more sensitive towards the people's will and people's wishes in Andhra Pradesh because of their liking towards the Gandhi family.
So you just now said that you are for the Samaikya Andhra
I am the
sentiment.
Chief Minister of Samaikya Andhra. Right. Samaikya means united.
All the three regions united.
United, that is Samaikya.
But there are lots of fears in the minds of the people of Telangana, and they have been making allegations of exploitation, discrimination. So how do you really think at this point in time will you be able to assuage their fears?
I don't think this is the time to think about all these things. See, this is a time where one particular decision has been taken. How do you address that decision, or how do you overcome that decision? Whether we have to go ahead, if you have to go ahead, how do you go ahead? If you can't go ahead, what do we do? How do we address the people of all regions, and how is this going to go ahead? This is what is the concern of the government, and what should be the concern of the party. So unless we address all these things, it is very difficult to go ahead. The people of this state, because of their affection towards the Congress party, we have to be more sensitive towards their what they want.
We also know that Kiran Kumar Reddy is a cricketer by heart. So do you think that are you going to play with a straight bat, or you have a scoop or a reverse shot still left to play?
No match is over till the last ball is bowled.
Well, on that note, thanks very much for coming on To The Point. So that's all the time we have for with this interview on To The Point. See you next time. Goodbye and thanks for watching.